All right, the time is here. Take advantage. If you're interested in promoting your brand here at Viral Hip Hop News, music, brand, or even yourself, email me, Sam Ant at dlsmediainc1@gmail.com for more information. Don't wait. Let's go.
Right.
Right. Now, Lil Cease, obviously, he was with Biggie. He was with Junior Mafia. Bad boy. Somebody very close, you would assume somewhere close to Diddy during those, real famous times during the 90s era, right? He was asked about Diddy's current situation, including the massive $30 million lawsuit by former collaborator Lil Rod that we talked about. Now, Lil Cease kept his response pretty much neutral. He said at the end of the day, a lot of things are accusations. We don't know if it's true or if it's not. I'm not the one to say what's true and what's not, but I hope everyone finds comfort, finds peace. That's how I see it. So very, I don't want to say politically correct, but he didn't go out of his way to try to gain attention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what you think about that?
Nah, I wouldn't have guessed. I think a publicist wrote that shit up or something. I don't know if he said it verbally. I guess he said it verbally, but yeah, perfect. I think he left it perfect, but I think that's probably the best thing that you could say without people thinking or trying to say, "Oh, you're trying to cover up or you're
Right.
siding with him." Even the video that we did last week,
Of course.
we talked about Jay-Z and Diddy. People were going at us like, "Oh, y'all still trying to protect them? You must be doing this to your women." All this type of shit that people want to say, man. I'm going to stand strong on this until more evidence comes out. None of us were there. We don't know if this stuff actually happened.
Right.
You can feel like it happened. You can guess. You can think. But we don't know. We weren't there. For all I know, it could be true. For all you know, it could be a witch hunt.
Right.
Like that's how much of a toss up
Well
this
said.
shit is
Well said.
at the end of the day. So yeah. Until I get more deeper evidence, like this dude Little Rod or whatever, he put his little pictures out and all that, but he's still ain't been indicted. He talked about the underage women and all that. Diddy and them came back, responded to that, said that was some bullshit. You know what I mean? As far as him, serving alcohol and drugs to underage women. So we'll see where this thing goes. I don't think it's over yet. I think there's more developing headlines as we go and move more and more throughout the year and into next year. But uh, I can't take it off of face value at this point. I'm sorry.
What I will say is this: the destruction of public opinion when it comes to Diddy's name is perfectly in play. Whether
Oh yeah,
he's found anything, whether he even gets to that level where he's convicted in court, all of this information coming out in the media and then people speaking on it and giving their opinion and then that getting ran, the court of public opinion has spoken and Diddy is guilty.
oh yeah. Damn.
And will he be convicted by social media castration or loss of more corporate sponsorship and opportunity? We shall see. But the verdict is in. He's guilty, and they're just going to continue to pile on. And that's the scary part, that you don't even need to be convicted in the court of law anymore. Public opinion is enough to take away so many opportunities and essentially house arrest you because there's nothing you can really do. It's wild.
Right. Yeah, it definitely is. And there's nothing that we're gonna do to be able to change people's opinion
Nope.
about the situation. I think, like you said, people pretty much got their mind made up either way about the situation. But the silence in the industry is pretty. If anything, this should show you like when situations like this come up for people like Diddy and all these different people. It's gonna really show you who your true friends and family are.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you thought you had industry friends, and not that even that they had to say anything publicly, but just calling you for support or
Right.
saying, "Look, man, I got your back," but you already know I really can't come out publicly because of so and so. Boom,
Yeah,
boom.
it's shit crazy. Right.
Yeah, so it's like I'm sure he has people like that that called him behind the scenes and said that because everybody, mom was around Diddy before. He was the guy to be around.
Oh, yeah.
Now nobody, he ain't at no events. He wasn't at the Grammys. The Rock Nation brunch ain't happened.
Right.
He's always there, and it's a shame that you have to move like that in America over a mere allegation. Like you can't go to parties no more. You can't go to the Grammys no more. Like it's certain things that you can't do no more
Right.
because of the public perception and because of lawsuits, civil lawsuits that you're fighting with the ex. It's wild to me. And I'm not saying that he's innocent, but everybody needs that presumption until proven guilty, whether civilly or criminally.
We all deserve that right. And
Definitely.
once it's found out guilty or innocent, we can make our opinion based off that. And we unfortunately don't get that opportunity anymore. And
Yeah.
that is what it is, man.
One last thing before we get out of here. Remember Cardi B's friend Star Brim?
Yeah, I do.
Well, this was years ago when she was brought up on some RICO charges for being involved with the Blood Gang. Well, she was sentenced in federal prison to 1 year and 1 day, plus 3 years of supervised release. Now, she was previously arrested, like I said, on RICO charges for allegedly, strong involvement in the Blood Gang, the 5'9" Brims out in New York.
Hmm.
She did give a guilty plea, but at one point they were calling her the godmother of the group. But I think she got a slap on her wrist. She was, convicted or accused of orchestrating crimes such as fraud, assault, and much more. She got a year. What's your thoughts? And 3 years of supervised release after that.
Bullet dodged like a motherfucker.
What?
Bullet dodged like a muck. I'm not gonna put anything else on that because I mean there's no reason to. But
She ain't stitched. She definitely stitched.
consider it a blessing.
Yeah.
And bullet dodged like a muck because we see how these Jones end up, right? And it ends up usually with them throwing a book at you and you sitting there for a very long time. So all I got to really say on it is count your blessings is wild because I remember talking about this in our very first studio and
Yeah.
bringing on people and that whole thing kind of unfolding. And that was 6 years ago now, five, and it's crazy to think about. But now that it's kind of reached his head, bullet dies like a mug.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I'm not going. I know I was reading into it a couple of weeks ago before she got sentenced, and she had a kid. She had started working,
Right.
so all of those things they probably took into consideration. Like, all right, she ain't really with the bullshit no more. She working, doing her thing now. She probably got a high price lawyer because she's like, best friends with Cardi B.
Yep.
So all that stuff, probably definitely played a role. One last thing, man, before we get out of here, I want to just slide this Meek Mill thing in here and just ask you a question, and we'll get up out of here.
Yeah.
Where DJ Academics did an interview yesterday. He had Pound Side Pop, and he was talking about Meek Mill offering